It was announced on Friday that he will, in fact, be fighting BJ Penn later this year. They've had maybe an issue over the years, and it's actually going to play out. I think this caught a lot of people by surprise. They didn't think that BJ would get another fight in the UFC, but here we are. He is getting another fight, and he's fighting Nik the Carney Lentz. And so let us say hello now to Nik Lentz, who joins us via the magic of Skype. Nik, how are you?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm doing great. Thank you very much for joining us. I appreciate it very much. So this kind of came out of nowhere. I think most people didn't think BJ would get another fight, and I don't know if the fan base is happy about it, but first let me ask you, when did you find out that this was something that the UFC wanted to do?
Well, you know, BJ comes on my Instagram like every couple months or something, talking crap and stuff. And so I noticed like the other day he came on there, you know, talking about how he would see me soon or something. And I thought it was like a joke, you know. I was like, where are you going to see me? You know, I don't spend time in the back of Hawaiian police cars. There's no chance you're going to see me, you know. So I just I just assumed that I was pretty much done with him. And then the UFC reached out to me and asked if I wanted to fight him. And, you know, I've been saying this for years, that I was going to, at 155 pounds, kick BJ Penn's ass, and that's what I'm going to do.
Wow. So he would actually go on your Instagram and write comments from time to time, like troll you, like try to pick fights with you. What would he write?
Oh, I mean, nonstop. Every couple of months, he would like send me direct messages, you know, threatening me, threatening my family, just doing all kinds of stuff. The guy's a whack job. And he's been allowed to just be this bad person his entire life because he was good at something, you know? That's just how it is in America. It's like if you're good at fighting or you're good at sports or you can catch a ball, you can be as much of a dirtbag as you want. And so he comes on my Instagram all the time. He even, when I don't respond to him, he goes to my wife's Instagram to say, hey, tell your husband to respond to me on my Instagram.
What?
Like, it's ridiculous.
Really?
Yeah, I'm not. The guy is 100% obsessed with me.
Wow.
So he's always but every time like we were going to fight in the past, like I said, you know, let's fight. He would never sign the contract. He only would talk. And now finally, I guess, I don't know why all of a sudden he's decided, maybe he came down off some coke binge or something, and he decided now's the time that we're going to actually accept it. So, you know, no fight is scheduled yet. I've accepted the fight. I guess he's verbally accepted as well. I'm just waiting on the date from the UFC.
When did they reach out to you about this? Last week?
Yeah, last week. You know, I mean, I had talked to the UFC previously about going back to 145 pounds. That's always been the goal, to stay at 55 long enough so I can get my body back to where I wanted to do and then make my final run at 145 pounds. So they called me and said, hey, Nik, would you be interested in this? And I said, yeah, but I just want to stay at 145 pounds. And they said, well, BJ won't fight at 145 pounds, which I said he should never do in the first place. I'm the only person I'm the only person who's ever cared about BJ. Everyone else just throws him to the wolves. Everyone else is like, oh, he's such a legend, you know, but I'm the only person who actually gave him a dose of reality and said, no, you're not a legend. You're a dirtbag. You're a drug addict. You don't take care of your family. You don't take care of your fans. You do nothing good for nobody, and you need to get your shit together. But the media and everyone has just dragged him along and gave him this confidence that it doesn't matter what innocent person he beats up. It doesn't matter if he goes to the strip club and is mean to women and they kick him out. So then he beats up the bouncers and he has his little handlers that save him and stuff, you know? It's ridiculous. So the second the UFC reached out to me, I think they reached out to me on Saturday and said, you know, like, hey, would you be interested in this? And I said, yeah, of course I'd be interested in this. I told you guys were going to be calling me. I knew I would be the guy to take BJ out, to actually retire him. And after I beat him, then he will actually be done. I promise you that.
And just curious, did you find out about this after Dana White said it to the media, or did you know beforehand?
No, Dana didn't say anything until like it was pretty crazy. Like the millisecond I said, like, okay, like the Dana thing popped up. So I mean, I guess Sean reached out to Dana right away and said, yeah, you know, Lentz is down and he'll go up to 145 pounds for this last fight. And I guess he'll, you know, who knows how he got the fight? Who knows how much he annoyed, you know? Him and Dana have a dysfunctional relationship. The whole UFC has a dysfunctional relationship with BJ. So I guess he gets what he wants. I guess he can just be as bad of a person or do whatever he wants and just, I mean, if I did or if anyone else in the UFC did 1/10 of what BJ did, they would never have a job again in all of MMA, much less the UFC.
Okay, so let's start from the beginning for those that may not know. When did you first meet BJ Penn?
I don't remember I don't even remember the year at this point. I mean, it was like 5 years ago, 6 years ago or something.
Okay.
He asked me to come out to one of his training things. So I went out to Hawaii and I met him there.
So he invited you to be a training partner?
Yeah, they flew me out there, paid me some money to help him out.
Okay, and was that through Mike Dolce?
I mean, yeah, probably. I'm not totally sure how that all got together.
Okay, and when you were out there, were you guys cool, or was it apparent from the get-go that you just couldn't get along?
No, we were cool. What I wasn't cool with is when I got there, like, not to go into too much history, but the way I grew up and the place that, like, where I've been in life, I can spot a drug addict. I can see it. I can spot someone who's not in a good place. And when I went out there originally, I thought, like, well, this is BJ Penn, like I don't know him personally, but I was thinking we'd be training in like a good facility. I was thinking he would be working very hard. But I'm not even joking. He actually, when I met him, he had a bum that followed him around, and that was like his little guy to take care of him. Like he had a literal bum that followed him around. So I was like, this is BJ, and this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna train 30 minutes a day, and I'm gonna sit here in Hawaii in a little room, and there was no internet, there was no nothing. Like it was like, no, I'm not doing this. I'm gonna go home.
Wow.
So I got there. I said, hey guys, this isn't for me. This isn't for me. This isn't what I was expecting. I was expecting like a real training camp. I got stuff to prepare for. You guys can keep your money or whatever. They asked me to stay a couple more days. I stayed a couple more days. They paid me. I went home.
Wow. How long were you there for? Approximately?
3-4 days.
Okay. And did you actually get paid?
I got paid some of it, not all of it, not what I was supposed to, but I got paid some of it.
Okay. And so does this all stem from that? Like, is he mad that you left or said the things that you said? Is that really the impetus of all of this?
No, what happened? Who knows? Like I left, and then shortly after he challenged me to a fight. Like as far as I was concerned, like we were good. You know what I mean? Like I left, and I was just like, hey guys, like this just isn't for me, right? Like sometimes you go somewhere, and like if I brought someone out and I said, hey, you're gonna come train with me or whatever, they got here and they're like, you know what, Nick, I just don't like training here. I don't like the hotel I'm staying at. I'm just gonna go home. I would be fine with that. But then suddenly, I guess it rubbed him the wrong way. And then like a couple weeks later, I woke up in the morning and like I had actually just had like knee surgery, and I wake up and my phone had like a million messages, from you, from all kinds of people saying like, are you going to fight BJ? And I'm like, what? Why would I fight BJ? I don't even like, what are you guys talking about? And then I had to go search online and see that he was challenging me to fights, that he was saying all these bad things about me. And so, yeah, it's ridiculous, it's ridiculous. The guy's a nut job. And not only is he a nut job, he's obsessed with me.
So throughout the years, like he's had a lot of fights. And I remember us saying like, oh, this would be this is, at the beginning of this losing streak and all that, he hasn't won a fight since 2010. We said like, oh, this would be the perfect time for Nick and BJ to fight. These days, I don't think people were really talking about it because I think we all thought that he was done. Why didn't it ever happen in the past?
Because he would never sign the paper.
Okay, so they would offer it as far as your understanding. Okay,
yeah, they would offer him the fight, and then he would come up with some excuses for why he wouldn't do it. I always said, hey, there's an open invitation. If you send me a paper with BJ Penn's name on it, you can just assume that it's signed.
Okay.
And they sent me the papers, and they kept getting signed, and yet he never signed. So that's where we are.
Have you ever had a face-to-face conversation, with him since you left Hawaii and all this kind of fell apart? Have you ever seen him anywhere?
No, No, why would I have a conversation with him? He goes on my Instagram and like threatens me, and not only threatens me, he's like, I'm gonna kill you if I see you. I'm gonna do this. If I saw BJ Penn, I'll freaking slap him. That's what I would do. I have no interest in talking to him.
Why don't you just block him on social media?
Because there's a side of me that there's two sides. There's a side of me that thinks it's funny, and then there's a side of me that like feels bad for the guy, because I really think that the media and people have allowed BJ Penn to push himself to the edge, and that very soon he's going to end up in a bad situation. He's going to OD. He's going to kill himself. He's going to do something, and at least, at some point, like, I feel bad cutting the guy off, because I'll be like the last freaking person on earth that cuts him off. And this whole time, like I said, I'm the only one who's actually cared about him, who's actually said, hey, bro, you're messing up your life. You are fucking up. You need to fix it. You need to get it together. But everyone else just talks about how much of a legend he is, and how he can do no wrong, and that everything that he does is okay. And it's not. And it's ruining his life. And eventually he's going to end up either dead or in a mental hospital eating applesauce out of a straw.
And so you actually say this to him? You actually write this back to him when he writes things to you?
No, I don't write that much back to him. I just leave it open, and but I'm telling him that now.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean, I'm like, what's wrong with you? When he sends stuff to me, I just make fun of him online. But when it's the private messages and stuff, it's a little more personal, and I just leave it alone. I posted it a while back. Like a couple years back, I posted some of it. I mean, it's ridiculous. So
you mentioned the fans and you mentioned the media, and I do believe to a degree you are correct. But what about the UFC? This man hasn't won since 2010. 8 fights in a row he hasn't won. Why are they giving him a fight? Don't you feel like they need to stop giving him fights as well?
Well, I think it's too late for people to care about BJ. Like, I really do. Like, I think at this point, like it's kind of ridiculous. It's like you walk past the guy and you see him like digging his own grave, and every day you walk to him and you give him a drink of water and say, good job, and you pat him on the back. And then the next day he's digging his own grave and you walk past him, you give him some water, you say, good job, legend, you're doing a great job. And then you give him some more water. And now all of a sudden everyone's worried about him. Like, oh, he's taking 18 million strikes to the head or whatever, like I just can't wrap my head around the idea that suddenly people care about BJ's health, when the whole time they've been kissing his ass and allowing him to do crazy things, like to destroy his body with drugs, to get in fights outside of the UFC, to have domestic violence issues, to do all these things. And they just always look past and they say, oh man, you're such a good guy, BJ. Everything is good. And now suddenly now it's just too much. The first fight, the first 5 fights, kid, that wasn't enough. The 6 fights, kid, 7, 8, the guy hasn't won a fight since we went to war in Iraq. I mean, it's ridiculous, but I'm going to end his career and I'm going to do him a favor.
And so you have this situation, and all the things that you're saying, there's obviously truth to it, but you have a situation where, like, Dana White has said, Chuck Liddell should retire, Big Nog should retire. We don't want to be in business. We don't want to promote these fights anymore. And he did say this once about Penn after the Edgar fight, the 3rd fight. And then he said it after the last one too, like, I can't do this anymore. And so is there a part of you that's like, how does this make any sense? Like, when you got this call, we're like, really, BJ Penn? I think we all thought that they were not going to promote his fights anymore.
But that's not up to me. It's not up to me. Like I don't care about BJ's health when it comes to winning a fight. And when they offer me the fight, I'm gonna train like I'm fighting for the title. I'm gonna hurt this guy, and I'm gonna work as hard as I possibly can, and train at the top of my level, and do everything I possibly can to end his career and to do him a favor. And so, no, like, when they call me, I don't think like, oh, poor BJ, whatever. I fight for money. I'm a prize fighter.
Right.
And I want to take care of my family. And so whoever they send me, I'm fighting.
That's fair. That's totally fair. Do you know when this fight is going to happen?
No, I don't know. I gave him they asked when was the earliest to fight I could fight. I gave them the date that I could fight, and then I'm waiting to see what card they put us on.
What date is that? Could you tell us that?
I said the end of September because I just bought a house. We're moving in at the end of August into early September. So, I'm going to spend some time with my family. We're going to get all moved over there. I'm going to take my girls and my wife to the new house. We'll get settled, and then we'll be training for the fight.
Okay.
So I can't do it before that.
Sure,
so then
sure.
We'll go end of September into October probably. I'd prefer October, but we'll see end of September.
But it is going to happen in 2019 as far as you're concerned.
Oh, yeah. I mean, definitely in 2019. I mean, I want to fight before the end of the year. So,
sure.
Yeah, definitely.
And Dana White said that win, lose, or draw, this is it for BJ Penn. Do you relish the opportunity to be the last man to fight him, to be the one to, quote unquote, end his career? Is this like a gift for you?
Well, I don't look at anything as a gift. I still have to go out there and beat him up, and I'm going to. So I'm not gonna overlook this thing. I'm not gonna overlook it. And if you think I'm not gonna be one of these guys that just I mean, I'm going to win this fight. I'm 10 times better than BJ Penn. I'm going to win, but I'm going to be ready. And he's going to face the best Nik Lentz there's ever been.
Have you ever felt this way about an opponent before? Clearly, this is personal. The DMs, all that stuff, the history. Have you ever felt this way about an opponent going into a fight?
Well, now it's different. I mean, maybe a couple when this originally started, then my blood was actually boiling when this stuff started. Then I was actually kind of mad, and then that would have been different. But now everything it's just confirmation. I've been saying this stuff for years, like I'm a science fiction writer or something. I mapped out everything that's going to happen in BJ's life. I told everyone the spiral he was going down. I've been saying this for years, and everyone treated me like I was some kind of nutcase. How dare you say BJ Penn isn't the best thing that ever walked the earth? How dare you say these bad things about him? How dare you say he's going to end up in a mental hospital? How dare you say he's going to get arrested? How dare you say he's going to be a domestic violence person? How dare you say he's a drug addict? And look what happened. Everything I said is true. And so the only issue I have that actually still gets to me is that when this originally happened, I sort of got blacklisted by the media. I got blacklisted by people as being like, who the fuck is Nik Lentz, and why is he allowed to talk crap about BJ? And because I'm the only person that ever said the truth. And now I don't know, maybe it's divine justice or whatever, but I'm the only person that if they give me the fight and it ends up happening, I'm still questioning. I don't know if he's going to sign it or not. He's always a talker. Maybe he does, maybe he doesn't. But if he signs it, yeah, I'll be happy to retire him.
So considering he is so beloved and you've had this public feud with him, you've gotten hate from his fans as well for saying these things?
Well, I've not only gotten hate from the fans, I've gotten massive hate from the media.
Really?
Yeah, tons. When this beef originally started, I mean, I got so much hate. So many MMA writers and all that stuff just wrote terrible things about me, about my family, about all kinds of stuff. Like how dare Nik Lentz say anything? He doesn't deserve the right to do anything. So, as far as I'm concerned, I don't really know what else to say about that.
Okay. Are any more poems coming out about him? You once did that.
Yeah. Again, I did that. I did that, and I might do it again. But the reason I did that is because it's a way to mess with fighters that they don't understand, right? They want you to be upset. Like, no, you're not going to kick my ass. I'm going to kick your ass. But then when you belittle them and you make fun of them and you attack their intelligence, it frustrates them. And that's probably one of the reasons why to this day, which is ridiculous, that he still comes on my Instagram and talks crap to me. It bugged him. It bugged him immensely, more than I could have imagined.
When you prepare for BJ, are you preparing, will you look at the old BJ, or are you going to look at, the recent BJ? It's almost like two different people, two different fighters. How do you prepare for this guy?
Well, no, I mean, you got to prepare for what you see.
Hmm.
You're like if you prepare for the old BJ, you might get caught with something sloppy. Like I got to prepare for what I've seen in his last fights. We'll watch his fights. We'll be ready. I have the best coaches in the world. I got Henry Hoof, Kami, Greg. We have one of the best teams at Hard Knocks. So, yeah, I mean, I'll be 1,000,000% ready for the fight.
Okay, and I understand. I understand what you are saying. I guess that's like it's almost a silly question to ask, but like to see this guy who meant so much to so many people in the sport, to see what's happened to him now, both in and out of the cage. I'm assuming there's no part of you that feels bad for him, right? That has any remorse or feels like it's kind of a shame to see what's happened to a guy who helped build the sport.
No, I disagree with that. I think I'm the only person that's actually felt bad for him. You know what I mean? Like I feel like everyone else has just been an enabler because they didn't want to deal with reality. Because when they got into MMA so many years ago, like that was one of the guys that like got him into MMA or whatever reason it is. They want to look back at their past and they want to think fondly of it, which is ridiculous. I truly feel I'm the only person who has given a crap about BJ because I was willing to look at him and say, hey, bro, you're a mess and you need to fix yourself. While everyone else was patting him on the back and let him just continue down the destructive path he's on.
Hmm. Is a decision victory not enough? Do you want to finish him? Do you want to actually get a TKO or submission over him?
I mean, it might be more fun to beat him up for 15 minutes versus finish it quick. But no, I'll take the victory however it comes.
Okay. Well, I think we'll leave it at that. Nik, I appreciate it. Thank you very much for coming on the show and good luck in the fight.
Thank you so much.
Hello, everyone. It's Ariel Helwani. I just came here to thank you for watching our ESPN YouTube channel. It's the best. You know what else is the best? The ESPN app. You can get highlights, analysis, all that stuff and more. And if you want premium content and live streaming sports, there's only one place for all of that. It's ESPN Plus.